Mic check, mic check, mic check. Let me get fire emojis in the chat box if you can hear me. Mic check, mic check. Let me get fire emojis in the chat box if you can hear me. Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. Mr. J the 6. If you don't have a quarterback that's going to play, you ain't getting Mingo. I don't want them scrubs. I need a quarterback that's going to start. That's my asking price, and I ain't coming off of it. Mic check, mic check. 1 2 1 2. What's good, everybody? What's good? If you've not done so, hit the like button on the video. If you're watching and you're not subscribed, go ahead and do that. And hit that bell so you can be notified when I go live or when I drop random videos. Do all that. Be notified. Get notified. Appreciate everybody for coming through. What's good, Chris? Send a few shout outs out. Chris Aguilar. What's good, Chris? Pay the bills. Done. Mingo. Will G. Mr. J, I already addressed you and them crazy trade offers. Marcus. Brandon. Devin Dukes. See who else we got in here. Lisa. Steven's back. Jeremiah W. Brandon. I know the gang guys. Brandon Bazell living with Big Reg and pay the bills. Appreciate it. Appreciate you guys for following directions. So if you don't know, if you scroll up to the top and you'll see those three guys, you know, they put that hashtag Know the Game in there. Know the Gang, I'm sorry. And I'm going to show you why they did that. Because if you do so, you get shouts out when the next stream starts. They were the first to be here. These were the first. They were the first here today. These three guys were the first yesterday. The Hawk TV, Brandon Bazell, and Big Reg. So somebody got to knock Brandon and Big Reg off the pedestal. When the stream pops up, y'all to go in there and hit Know the Game quick. Because if not, Brandon will be up here every day. If you let Brandon come through here, he'll be up here every day. All right. So y'all got to knock him off the pedestal. But for now, yesterday's video, the Hawk TV was first. Brandon Bazell was second. I think Brandon said he pulled over to hit Know the Game while he was driving, and then Big Reg was third. But that's what we do. Once we go live and once the stream pops up and you see it, you know, pop up on your YouTube feed, hurry up, join. Go ahead and hit the Know the Game. Go ahead and type in Know the Game. And since you're there already, you might as well go ahead and like the video before it even gets started. Because you know it's going to be good. So just go ahead and like the video before it gets started. Well, Ozzy 101, Charles Henshaw, appreciate you. Yeah, Will, they trying to, you know, Debo stuff. Brandon tried Debo stuff. He trying to be in there first. Y'all got to knock him off his pedestal. Got to knock him down. But let's get started. Let me get a little water real quick. I'm doing good, David. Doing good. Oh, I also saw a question up there too, which means the little chat box working. So a question from Devin, which I just answered. Question from somebody else. Who is that? Where is it? From Lisa, I think. Hey, coach, we need PQ to help Trenton Simpson. What say you? I think they're going to play two different positions. I talked about it earlier. I think they're going to play two different positions. I don't think either one will affect the other. I think Trent Simpson will affect more so Owe or one of those nickel corners before he affects PQ. That's what I think about that. All right, but if you have a question and I can get to it, you know, if we kind of not in the middle of a conversation with somebody or I'm not in a thought, I'll go ahead and answer that question. So if you want to do that, put a Q in front of it. And that's how you do it. Oh, I got you, Lisa. You did. I got you. I saw it at first, but I got you. All right, but let's get on to the Jane Doe comment of the day. And again, if you want to be a part of the Jane Doe comment of the day, which we have a package for ECD, and he still need to email me so we can see what, you know, how you want to get that delivered to him and whatnot, and we can get that out to him. But Jane Doe comment of the day, you go to my community tab or you go on Twitter when I post it. I'll post the topic with the, you know, the show number and whatnot, and you just comment about it. And I'll pick, you know, what I think is the best comment. Now, the longest comment don't necessarily mean the best comment, but I'll pick what I think is the best comment to kind of talk about, dissect, and break it down. And sometimes the longer comments are the best comment. Like today, the longest comment won today. So we kind of got an idea of who put that one up there. Let's go into the Jane Doe comment of the day. Jeremiah W. And again, as many times as you get picked for the comment of the day, you get put on the wheel at the end of the month to win the prize pack. So Hold on, Will. Let me mute you real quick. Thought I had hit mute.
All participants are muted,
There
and
we
they
go.
can unmute themselves.
My bad. We'll be back to Will G. Sorry, I appreciate it. My bad. Will jumped in and kind of screwed the pooch. Scared the heck out of me. But again, Jeremiah W. says not high enough. And we're talking about the Ravens being ranked 5th after the draft by Bleacher Report. He says they're not high enough. The Ravens after the Miami game were the best defense in football. Houston, Peters, and Williams were dealing with injuries. Roquan and Bowser weren't there yet. Pierce was out. They had a lot of issues against Miami, and they had 3 other blown leads. But look at what the Bengals did against the Bills and Chiefs after getting bottled up and beat by the Ravens defense. They had more sacks and pressures than people realized because it didn't come from 1 or 2 of our main guys. But it added up to the 5th most in the league. People are also sleeping on Queen and Hamilton and Matabike and definitely Bowser. The talent level and scheme is better than they think, but the numbers don't lie. Third in points included the Miami and early season meltdowns, even as they are with Rock Yassin instead of Peters, a bunch of potential at edge and corner. I would take this defense over anything else out there. They're going to be ridiculous, and if they bring Peters and Clark or Houston in, and whomever it is, should just have to be depth inside of stalwarts. So I agree with everything Jeremiah said in here. We got a stacked defense. Those 5 teams that are ahead of them, or those 4 teams that are ahead of them, they pretty stout too. But we're gonna talk about them in a second. So I appreciate you, Jeremiah, for dropping this comment. And again, Jeremiah will be on the wheel. If I'm not mistaken, this will be his 2nd entry. And for every episode this month, I put your name on the wheel, and it randomly spins the wheel. It's a little online thing that does it. And if you get 16 comments of the day, you get on the wheel 16 times, even though it's not, at the most it's going to be 20 shows because we're only doing 3 days a week. But however many times you get up there, that's how many times you can get on the wheel, and we can go from there. But let's take a look at this list real quick. Take a look at this list. All right, this is the list. So Bleacher Report's top ranking defenses after the draft. Number 1, they got San Francisco. Number 2, they have Philadelphia. Number 3, they have the Jets. Number 4, they have the Commanders. Number 5, Baltimore. Number 6, Buffalo. Number 7, Dallas Cowboys. Number 8, New England Patriots. Do you agree with this or no? Yes or no? Thumbs up or thumbs down if you agree with their ranking so far. But what I want to do is take it a little step further. And while you guys are looking at that and typing your thumbs up or thumbs down, I'm going to take a little further. What I did was I took those teams ahead of us, and I grouped their positions on the slide. So what we're gonna see next is the best DB group, and we'll see our DB group, and then we'll have the other 4 teams' DB group listed. We're gonna choose which DB group is best, and we'll do that throughout down the defense. So that's what we're gonna do. Starting off with the DB group. Let's slide it down a little bit. All right, our DB group, and I just took the starters, so let me tell you why I did this. Because ESPN updated their depth charts after the draft. So you can't go to the team websites and find updated depth charts. And if they did, thank you, that team. But for the most part, ESPN did. So what I did was I took the top person listed on ESPN depth charts, even though there are going to be other guys that play on other teams and on our team. And that's how I got these 4 guys. So I took the top corner, top left corner, top right corner, top strong safety, top free safety, and that's where this comes from. Even there may be somebody else to play. I don't be on other teams like that, but we'll see. But I want to keep it level, so I took what ESPN had for each team. All right, so the best DB group for us, you got Marcus Williams, you got Kyle Hamilton, you got Marlon Humphreys, and we're assuming Rocky Sin gonna start at that other corner for now. And so you'll see the 49ers, Javarius Ward, Lenore, Hufanga, Gibson. For the Jets, Sauce Gardner, Whitehead, Chuck Clark, formerly Ravens, Chuck Clark, Sidney Brown. If I'm not mistaken, I think Sidney might be a rookie, if I'm not mistaken. Eagles, you got James Bradbury, Darius Big Play Slay, Terrell Edmonds, and Sidney Brown. One of them names don't supposed to be up there. I screwed up. All right. And for the Commanders, Kendall Fuller, Emmanuel Forbes, Cameron Curl, and Derek Forrest. Sidney Brown on the Eagles and the Jets, he ain't on one of them teams. I messed up, but forget it. And for us, I think we have the best group. I think Jay, which team's sitting there, on the Jets or the Eagles? I think he's on the Jets. I think I messed up with the Eagles. But I think we have the best DB group out of those 4 teams right there. Because we got two studs, and then Hamilton got the potential to be one also. The Eagles will be close with Bradbury, Slay, and Edmonds, but I still think we got the better of this deal. I think so because our safety, Rocky Sin will be our weak link, and I think Brown will be the weak link for the Eagles. So is Bradbury, and Bradbury is better than Rocky Sin. I think Marlon and Darius Slay might be fairly equal. Sidney Brown is not. If Sidney Brown's supposed to be, I don't know which one I messed up on. But whoever that fourth guy is, I don't think it's better than Marcus. And Terrell Edmonds and Hamilton may kind of, because Edmonds a little older, cancel each other out. But I think we have the best defensive DB group right there. Just DBs. Just DBs. What you guys think? Is it us? Is it 49ers? Is it Eagles? Is it Commanders? All right. Why you putting that in? Let's slide on down the chart to the best linebacker group. And so the 4 teams are up there. They're all 4-3 teams. So they only have 3 linebackers listed. Out of the top 5, we're the only one that's considered a 3-4. And that's why I have 4 guys up there for us. The 4 guys up there for us are Owe, Bowser, Roquan, and PQ. For the 49ers, it's Oren Brooks, Fred Warner, Greenlaw. Eagles, Hassan Reddick, Nakobe Dean, Nicholas Morrow. Jets, Quincy Williams, C.J. Mosley, Jamin Sherwood. And Commanders, David Mayo, Cody Barton, Jamin Davis. I think this one, to me, is hands down the 49ers. And even if the 49ers only had 2 guys up there, they probably win this with Greenlaw and Warner. I think the 49ers got the best linebacker group. I think we're right behind them, though. Even though Quincy Williams and C.J. Mosley tough. Nakobe Dean didn't play a lot last year. Reddick, we know, is a stud. And I don't know much about the Commanders linebackers other than I know Jamin Davis is fast as you know what. He is you know what. So for the best linebacker group, I'm going with the 49ers. So you got one Ravens, 1 49ers. So now we'll slide. Fred Warner do kind of count as 2 people. He just that good. You're right, Terrell. You're right. So let's slide down to, now if you picking us to have the best linebacker group, come on now. As much as I have to defend Pat Queen and y'all picking us to have the best linebacker group, something going on. Because I had to defend Pat Queen tooth and nail in these YouTube streets. Like Kelly, I'm fighting for my life when I'm talking about Pat Queen. Because don't nobody like him but me and a few more people, so y'all tripping. Tell the truth. This is a safe space. Tell the truth. Now let's go to the D-line group. And again, we only have 3 D linemen listed, while the other teams have 4 because they're considered 4-3 teams. We're considered a 3-4 team. So for us, you got Michael Pierce, who's coming back, Matt BK, and you got Broderick Washington. Those are 3 guys that are listed on ESPN as the starters. Not the 3 guys I say gonna start. Those to keep it fair. Those are the 3 guys that's listed on ESPN as starters. As for the 49ers, you got Drake Jackson, Hargrove, Eric Armstead, Bosa. Man, it's going to be tough to beat that one. But then you got the Eagles with Graham, Jordan Davis, Fletcher Cox, and Jock Sweat. That's a tough one also. The Jets, John Franklin Myers, Quinn Jefferson, Quentin Williams, probably count as 2 people also. And then Carl Lawson. Then Commanders with Chase Young, Montez Sweat, Deron Payne, and Jonathan Allen. We ain't winning this one. So we not even in consideration for the best D-line group because all 4 of these teams got some guys. We might be in contention with the Jets because of, they just got Quinn and the other guys ain't that great, but look at the Commanders front line. Chase Young, Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen, Montez Sweat. Then you pop up to the Eagles. Graham Davis, Fletcher Cox, and Josh Sweat. Then the 49ers. Who got the best D-line group? Is the 49ers the best D-line group or is it the Commanders? I personally think it's the Commanders. Because they legit 4 deep. Like four guys deep. Drake Jackson, not bad. But and I know Nick Bosa probably count for 2 people too. But just look at the Commanders if Chase does what he's supposed to do. Chase Young, Montez Sweat, Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen. Both of them cats in the middle, you ain't too much moving. So for me, my winners of the group are the best D-line group is the Commanders. The best linebacker group is the 49ers. The best DB group is the Ravens. That's how I got it. How do you guys have it figured out? Put it in the comment section. If you're watching on the replay, put it in the comment section if you're watching on the replay. If you're watching now, drop it in the chat box. Drop it in the chat box. And keep in mind, this group, this picture don't account for the depth that the Eagles got either. Just the starters. Because I know the Eagles got some guys on the back end that can run in too. But the other teams do too. But the Eagles, they coming off a 70-sack season. And I know one of their guys plays with the 49ers now. That's Hargrove. But that front four for the Commanders, that's if they all healthy, that's scary. That is scary. All right, let's move over a little bit. Here we go. Let me get the numbers up there on the phone. So before we get to the phone line, I know we got Will Holding. This is the 21st show. This is episode 21 of Ravens Daily. So in honor of that, when you turn legal, you take shots. So that's what we're doing for episode 21. Salute, Ravens Daily. Appreciate you guys for getting us through. That's almost 2 months of the show, which again, when I first started, I didn't think nobody was going to come through, but y'all been showing up and showing out, and I appreciate it. So here's the episode 21. We legal now. Appreciate you, Kevin Hart. That's real smooth. Real smooth. All right, let's get to Will G now. Appreciate you, Will, for holding on for me. Thank you.
Hashtag call in game, coach.
That's a good one. Hashtag call in game.
I gotta get my insider, call in because man, I'm seeing guys, get the Noti gang at like 3 o'clock. I'm like, how's that possible?
They be moving fast, boy. And I've been trying to hold it. Like I'll hold it because I've been here, but I hold it putting the stream up so just give different people a chance to get in. Then Brandon to be like a Hawkeye.
Nah, Brandon deserves that, man. That's the MVP right there.
Oh, that's cousin Brandon. I forgot. That's cousin Brandon.
I love this question today, Coach, because just like I said in the comment, I was kind of late. I feel it's warranted where we're at right now, preseason with no games played.
Mm-hmm.
My question to you would be, what were we ranked defensive wise in the very beginning of last season before any of the injuries? When everything was we were just dominating except for that one Miami game, pretty much.
I don't know the numbers exactly, but I do know after the Miami game, we went toward the bottom, and there was an uphill climb for that. But I do know toward the end, we ended up like ranked 3 or 4. But it was a tough battle after that Dolphins game, and after some other game, we blew a lead and gave up a bunch of yards.
Right. And I think also what it is that because the Ravens play so many games, like the other team was always in the game last year.
Mm-hmm.
So you really didn't get like a lot of, like when the 49ers, like if they get up 14 and they got Bosa, you in trouble.
Right.
You know what I mean? They can release Greenlaw, Bosa, and all them guys that you in trouble with. I think that's what goes into the effect. But I like your rankings. I definitely think we have the top secondary pretty much when healthy, most definitely. The D-line is definitely the crutch, which I'm hoping that's kind of going to be a rotation this year, which we find the right piece. I was actually looking at your question yesterday, and I was like, man, Leonard or Clowney. I was like, if Clowney could return to them Texan days,
I know
that would be nasty.
I know.
I just don't know what those injuries are or anything like that. But I think that's why they have us as 5th. But we can easily, especially now with the points that we can score, like your tape says about Monken and the offensive weapons. If we get up that 21 and we can just focus on the pass, like we had, like number 1 in the secondary, so it could be pretty much hunting pretty much about the second half in the very beginning. Pretty much, already the run is pretty much first down, and then after that, you can just put in pretty much a specialist to pass rush and go hunt for the interceptions or the turnovers and stuff.
Right, we definitely that front line definitely should be able to need to be able to help the back end out. Any kind of pressure they can get to force balls out early or to have errant throws or tip balls, the secondary is good enough to get their hands on them and do something with them. And even Roquan and PQ, they got good enough hands, even though they dropped a bunch. Well, PQ dropped a bunch early, but they got good enough hands to get their hands on the ball and return it. Not necessarily to the house, but even though to the house would help. But just turnovers period. Because we gonna give up yards. We gonna give up yards. The thing is, just don't give up the points.
I got a feeling this year, man. I got a feeling Hamilton's gonna be robber, coach.
Mm-hmm.
I got a feeling he's gonna. I just got a feeling because now it's like baseball. You got to get 600, 900 at bats before you really know what a player is.
Right.
You got to get a certain amount of reps at the NFL level to see the different coverages, how teams attack. He's pretty much seeing how teams are going to attack the Ravens defense now, and like if he just fits in that whole robber spot, a lot of tip passes, Humphrey or Peters, and I got a feeling he could have maybe half a dozen interceptions. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, I could definitely see a lot of tip passes this year, and I think he's definitely going to keep getting sacks because we love that scheme that we can run, and you pretty much disguise it when he's down at the line, and then all of a sudden they didn't call for that offensive protection, and then that's free Hamilton coming at you.
Yep. My question, and I may have missed it. Which D line group did you like the most?
The D line. Eagles. I mean,
Eagles.
Okay. Of the depth, you know what I mean? Yeah, just because of the depth, it's just that's crazy. And the last thing, your question yesterday for the player, I had to think about that, and then I'm like, yeah, the D line is probably what keeps us from having getting the ball out from the quarterback in 1 or 2 seconds. So I'm like Aaron Donald. Or Garrett. I'm like either one of them guys or TJ Watt.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I definitely think Donald because if you can get the inside pressure before you get the outside, it just wreaks havoc on the entire offensive game plan.
It does. You get inside pressure. There's no way for him to escape because if he goes left or right, he goes into the edge guys. Now, if you get outside pressure first, he could probably step up and maneuver some stuff. But that push up the middle is something different. Because you see it coming to your face, and you're trying to look over it downfield. That on the side, you can kind of lock in and maybe get a throw off. But if it comes up the middle, it's affecting you because you see it on top of what you're trying to see beyond it.
Right, especially if you get the inside pressure that forces you to go away from your throwing side.
Right.
Now you going backtracking, crisscrossing your feet. You losing pretty much accuracy, you losing velocity, you losing all kinds. Like especially if you don't got like a cannon for an arm, and that's when you get the late over the middle INT, which I'm talking about for Hamilton and stuff like that.
Yep. Now he's rangy enough to do that too. I like him in that role, but I think they're gonna hover one of those linebackers in the middle and have a situation like if we gonna play a lot of cover one, like if the back's on the right side, well whichever side the back go to. I figured that linebacker will cover him, whether it be Queen or Roquan, and then the other one will be the robber in the middle. I think Hamilton will work in that flat area somewhere where Marcus deep in the cover 1 or cover 3 type deal. I think one of them linebackers will be the rover. And even if we go with the big nickel thing, I still think whichever linebacker is in there will sit in the middle. I think Simpson will get one side. I think Simpson will get one flats. I think Hamilton will get the other flats. Then you have Marcus, Marlowe, and whoever makes the other second corner have cover the deep thirds, and I think that's what you'll get.
Right, and the good thing about that is we have that option. We can just switch it up and totally, display it with Hamilton, or we can display it with the hybrid, the nickel linebacker or PQ. Right,
and with Simpson in there, you can also go down to a 5 front and play just straight 1 with no roll.
Right.
Slide Oway or somebody to like the 3 and stand up Simpson on the edge, because he can do that. And now you didn't change your look without changing your personnel, which should be an advantage. I know it's an advantage when you can do it offensively, but I also think it's an advantage when you do it defensively too.
Gotcha. All right, Coach. 21 salute.
Appreciate it. Mm-hmm. Appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
Next up. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Coach, this is Cameron from Texas. I was thinking we'll probably. I honestly agree with a lot of your rankings, and also agree with your college rankings. But I would say for D line, I would probably say like if it's just starting 4, I would say Commanders. But if we include depth, then I would definitely say the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
And but I would also say, like, to be honest, I don't really like all like the ranking stuff probably doesn't matter that much. But like all I care about is like what you were saying is like having a good situational defense, because like have you look at the 49ers and the Eagles, like well they were like the top ranked defenses, but like when you have like a great QB, they really not a way to really stop them that much. You know what I'm saying? Because like even with Lamar's, like he has faced some good defenses before, but like when he's hot, he can just do whatever he wants. So it's like we have a great QB. Is like now, especially with the rules nowadays. Really
kind of like what happened to the Eagles in the Super Bowl. As good as their pass rush is, he just got the ball out quick.
Yeah, they have 0 sacks and barely any pressure. So it's like at the end of the day, like it doesn't matter where we rank. It would be ranked like 20th, like upper all here. I just want like a good
maybe a good red zone percentage.
Yeah, but also I'll say I think like Trent Simpson, I honestly don't really see him as like an inside backer. I just see him more like I put him more like kind of hybrid safety / outside linebacker instead of a hybrid safety and inside, because I'll do things with you like have like either Roquan or Patrick in the hover or in the roam, but then have like Trenton like a kind of covering the slots as well, but also like situational, like I kind of see him more as a kind of like more of a Tyus Bowser role.
Talking about Simpson.
Yeah, I feel more a Tyus Bowser role more than a Patrick King role, because especially with like Tyus Bowser, I think he's a good outside backer, but he's actually a really good cover guy, like on the flat. So I feel like we should put him more in that kind of role, like for these first few years, and rather than try to force him to be a inside linebacker, because as we see with like trying to force guys into a position that they're not really comfortable with or good at, it just ruins everybody. Kind of like with Brandon Stevens at corner, like it's just not a good fit for him trying to be a inside backer. So, but as I said, man, like I don't really care where we rank as long as especially last year as well. Even though we were ranked pretty high, it seems like whatever we needed to stop, teams just would like
couldn't get it.
So like all those rankings just don't matter to me, man. As long as we as long as we need a stop and can get that stop, then I'm fine. You know what I'm saying?
That's that situational football, which is needed, especially your red zone, like. And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think a lot of defenses, it really even lock in on defense until the other team crosses the 50. When the other team crosses the 50, that's when they're like, all right, all right, now let's get this together. That's when they kind of lock in and do whatever. But if we had a defense that could do that, and the really part of it helps when you can take away them deep shots. When you get a little closer to the red zone, you can take away them deep shots. That helps your defense, and if you can stop the run. And we've traditionally been a team that can stop the run. So if we can, not let them score those 40 to 45-yard touchdowns and make people try to score from the red zone, I think we'll be straight. Because defending in the red zone is I ain't gonna say it's easier. Well, shit, it is easier because you ain't got the deep balls to worry about. But it's tougher because they're gonna pretty much pull out all their tricks. Because most coaches have what they call a red zone period, where they just practice red zone plays. So it's a specific set of plays that each team has that should work in the red zone because they're expecting to get a certain type of coverage once, And I tell you, in high school, a lot of high school teams play zone, but once you get to the 20-yard line, it's man. You can almost bank on it. Once you get to the 20-yard line, 15-yard line, they going man and finna bring it at you. And then it goes into who got the best Jimmys and Joes.
Sir.
That's all you got for me?
Anyway, that's pretty much all I got, Coach. Sorry about that.
Okay. No, you good. I appreciate it. All right, we got one more behind. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, thank you, Coach.
Oh, you good. So that'd be, what was your name again? Cameron? Was it Cameron?
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you, Cameron. Appreciate it. And our last one for today. Rave Kingdom, what's good?
What's good? What's going
The conference has been locked.
All right, so I
I'm sorry,
think yesterday, I think as I was hitting the X button, I think you called in yesterday.
Yeah,
As
I think I slightly missed it, man. Yeah. Well,
That's
it's all-
cool.
it's all
So
good.
that's I think because as
It's
I was
all
hitting the
good.
button, I heard the ding. I'm like, oh, I never hit the button. Golly.
Yeah,
But
it's all
so
good.
you
I
can
got.
you can go in for both shows if you want to. If you want to, it's up to you.
I appreciate that. I mean, considering yesterday's call, let me go fast on that one. On yesterday's call, free agency wise, there's not too many people I would like to put up in there. Considering the fact that there is help though that is available, I would say Clowney, and I would say Shaquille Griffin. I think I said it before on before the other calls before.
Hmm.
One of the Griffin twins. I think why he's good because he's like 2-3 years younger than Marcus Peters or any other corner that's available.
Hmm.
I think he already has starter experience. And it's something that's very amazing about him that people keep forgetting. He's a very fast corner, like very
Extremely
fast.
fast.
Exactly. People really forget that. We're talking about extremely fast corner that has starting experience, and he has his credentials. If you want to be honest with him, sure. I mean, you can say your doubts and ifs about him, but he has his credentials. So
Hmm.
he could be very good against Tyreek Hill or any of these very very fast guys, especially this coming to this draft. We got Zay Flower, so speed is everywhere, right?
Yep.
So I think Shaquille Griffin could be very used, and hopefully, we'll see what we do with Marcus Peters and stuff. Considering today's topic, though, I know some Raven fans might be mad at me because me saying this, because I'm very sure they think of our defense as the top of the line,
Hmm.
But I actually have a little bit of a not doubt, but I would say if we really think about it, we actually took a couple steps back. And I know we have a very stern fit in that linebacker zone with Raquan Smith. We got an amazing corner Marlon Humphrey, but I think we don't witness that we took some hits on defense.
Hmm.
There is no Calais Campbell. We're literally banking on is our D lineman, which is the rookie and Marcus and Mr. Pierce, are they really going to step up? Pierce, he was playing well, but he got hurt. And I'll be honest with you, Pierce he had that big pot belly. He was playing good. He had that big pot belly. If we were keeping it real, he had that big pot belly, and he got hurt really, really fast.
Hmm.
So, how long is he going to stay up? And our rookies, we can sit here and, oh my, Travis Jones, he's the guy, he's the next up. I get that, but we're banking on a couple rookies to step up when it comes to that D lineman. We took what's his name? We got older. We got guys like Oway, and we still wondering if they're gonna make a huge step up as well. What's his name? We don't have Marcus Peters anymore. We're trying to get him back. We picked up a replacement, Rocky Sin. I hate to break this news to everybody, but as much as Rocky Sin sounds a decent corner because he's younger and he like you said, he has starting experience and stuff, but I hope Rocky Sin ain't really done much of this league, and he's been on the Colts and had multiple opportunities. I remember Yolanda B and some other people was talking about his opportunities. That man has had plenty of opportunities. Matter of fact, I used to roast some of the Colts fans because Rocky Sin was selling. Okay, but trust me, he had plenty of opportunities. Trust me.
He like I said it. I don't know if I said it yesterday or the day before, but he's a free agent for a reason.
Exactly. So and then are we moving Kyle Hamilton finally to play safety? We
I
lost
think
to
so.
Clark. So are we finally there's so many questions about our defense and in fairness, we kind of knew that we were going to take some hits because surprisingly that the Ravens were actually going to invest in the offense. So we knew we was going to take some hits on the defense. But if we really look at things, do we believe that our defense is still strong? Yes, especially with our leader, Raquan Smith. But if we're being realistic and not in delusion, if we're being realistic, we took a lot of hits because Calais Campbell was a huge veteranship, leadership, a strong format in that D lineman in the inside. Especially.
Give me a second.
What's his name?
Hold on one second. Somebody asked the question that you're alluding to. Basically, they asked who's going to take over the leadership role that we lost from Calais. And to answer that question, I think it's going to be Roquan. I think he had already kind of moved toward like, okay, I'm the leader of this group. So I don't think we're going to lose much when it comes to an actual guy that's going to motivate the guys to go out there. I think Roquan's going to lead definitely by example. I'm not sure how vocal he is, but I know his presence makes Pat Queen better. And I'm assuming that that vibe, that mentality goes to other guys too. So I think Roquan's going to be that emotional, vocal leader that we lose, by not having Calais back.
I totally agree. on that one. Most definitely. I think Raquan Smith already took over that leadership role, that motivator, that, hey, listen, let's get to work. You know what I'm saying? Calling out each other. Well, they already said, if I'm not mistaken, they said when Raquan came to our Ravens defense, he was immediate impact on the vocal leadership, talking all around the field. You know what I'm saying? And that what led Patrick Queen finally doing something, and all of a sudden everybody want to praise him and give him a 5th-year option, which is BS. But we'll leave that alone. You know?
You don't think he should have it?
Huh?
You don't think he should get the 5th-year option? Keep in mind, DeCosta yesterday said he wanted to sign him to extension. He said that on the whatever the actual Ravens podcast, I forget the name of it. The Lounge. He said it on the Lounge.
Okay. Yeah, he did. That is very true. They're saying that he wants him back, but they also declined that option too, though, right?
Yeah, they did. They did.
You know what I'm saying? And if I'm not mistaken, last year they did with Hollywood Brown. They said, "Oh yeah, we're going to pick up this option." Yeah, and what happened?
Packed his bags.
Packed his bags.
Yep.
Okay, now, me specifically, I'm be honest with you, I don't know how many times I was ready to punch the TV because Patrick King kept missing tackles.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be honest with you. If it wasn't for Patrick, I know there was a game or so before Raquan came, he started playing better. But I mean,
I think it was more. I got a stat for you, and I'm gonna read this off to you. I pulled it out the other day. I just happened to still have it on my desk, and when you said that, I pulled it right back out. So his rookie year, he was 20.4% missed tackle rate, which is a boatload. So that means 1 out of 5 tackles he was missing. His sophomore year, which was whatever his second year in the NFL was, he was 18.6. So which it got better. Last year, 13.5. 13. That's a huge difference when you consider missing tackles. And for me, as long as he improves each year, I'm fine with it. Because coming into the NFL, linebacker is one of the hardest positions to play. I think corner is the hardest position to play now because of the rules. But jumping in and trying to play Mike in wing system was probably one of the hardest things he's ever done, which is probably why he didn't have much success in it. But once we changed the mic, he started playing better. And I think this year he's just going to continue to play even better than what we saw last year. Because I think he was playing better. And this is where, I kind of different in your opinion. 3-4 weeks before Roquan got there. But yes, when Roquan got there, he went up a whole nother notch.
Hey, look, when you bring up the stats, I can't argue stats, okay? You got me on that one. I can't argue stats.
And it do seem like it because when he do miss them, it be in inopportune times. And that's where that situational football come in. And so I understand why it feels like he still miss a bunch because he missed them in the fourth quarter when we really need somebody to get down. Or if it's a 3rd and 2 and it's somebody in the flats 1-on-1, he'll miss that. It's his miss be at inopportune times, so it seems like he's still missing a bunch. So I understand. I understand why people say that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I'll be fair. I'll leave Patrick McQueen alone. But all I'm saying is, for everyone that's listening, if you believe that we're just a super top one defense, I would calm down on the hopes on that. So that's all I have to say about that.
So you're saying you think we the top one defense, or you're asking?
No, I'm saying if you think
Mm-hmm.
if anybody who thinks that we're a top one defense or top two or top three, I don't know about that quite anymore, because all I'm saying is we took a lot of hits more than we think.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's why I think that's why we're still kind of thinking about the free agency a little bit. Like, hey, how can we add a little bit more help? If you're thinking, can we add more help? Means your defense all the way there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why that's why there's some people like, hey man, there's Frank Clark, there's Jadeveon Clowney, there's Shaquille Griffin. Let's get Peters back.
Mm-hmm.
And exactly right there, we lost Peters. We lost a guy who's very edgy and rough and nothing but definition of Baltimore Ravens. We lost a safety, Clark, even though nobody's going to miss him. But you know, we're going to see who takes up the strong safety spot. So, like I said, we took more misses than what we think, man. Calais Campbell, we're talking about a run stopper, a veteran, leadership, energy. Oh, a block field goal guy, field goals. Come on now, we took a lot of hits than people think.
Yeah. When you think about it, but I think the biggest hit is Calais, and I think outside of those 3 or 4 special plays, I think the guys can get it done as a whole. Because Calais didn't play a lot because I'm lying. He played more than he should have. That's probably the reason why he got hurt. He played way too many snaps. So we got to have a better rotation in there, and the guys that get in there got to produce. Washington got to produce.
Right.
Matabike got to produce. Pierce got to stay healthy. Urban got to give us what he can. So whoever's in that front group, that interior D-line group, they need to produce. They ain't got to have a boatload of sacks, but they just need to get a bunch of pressures and help the edge guys get sacks. And if somebody steps up in the middle, hey, do your thing. But definitely stop that run first.
Yeah, most definitely. And I just want to be known, I'm not saying, our defense is trash. I have a lot of hope. I have a lot of hope in David Ajabo. I think he's going to kill it. He's coming from an injury. He played 1 or 2 snaps or something like that. I think he's going to, I think he had all season. We got an amazing offense. I think we got Kyle Hamilton. We're going to see what he does as a safety this time. Not no corner or linebacker. This time as a safety. We'll see what he does, because last time he was a safety, it didn't look so good.
Right.
But we're going to see how it goes. I definitely believe that our defense is going to put in the work. But I'm just saying, if the fans think that we are top 2 defense right now, I would let's not go too hype about that.
Now, keep in mind, and somebody just put in chat box, and I'll close with this one. We did finish top 3 now in scoring defense last year. Yardage wise, we were a little further down, but scoring defense, which is the one that really matters, we was top 3. And so all we really lost is Calais, because Juice Man was hurt. Juice Man was a shell of himself. So that I don't really want to count that as a loss, because he wasn't the Juice Man that we all know and love. So technically, all we really lost was we lost Campbell. We're getting a 4-year Roquan. We're getting our defensive coordinator his 2nd year, because keep in mind the defensive coordinator was a rookie too. He was a rookie too.
Yeah.
So I think everybody's going to be better. I think he's going to be better at situation. And I think that's part of the reason why we blew so many games early. The DC was a rookie and still trying to put people in the right spot. He had a bunch of rookies out there with Hamilton and JAD and Pepe, and they were screwing up. And so the young guys, just including the coach, just wasn't where they needed to be. That's all. And so, but they'll be straight. They'll be straight. And if we top 5, if we number 5 at the end of the year, I take that, because our offense should be way better and it should balance itself out. So I'll take 5. But I appreciate you, Rave Kingdom, and
Sir.
we're gonna roll this thing out. We're gonna wrap up week 7. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Let me navigate. All right. So there we go. That is episode 21. If you have not hit the like button, let me see if this works. Does that one work? See if it's gonna work today. There we go. If you have not hit the like button, please do so. If you're chatting, you had to subscribe to chat. Let's get the results of this poll real quick before we get up out of here. Let's see. Tally up. All right. Who has the best D-line group in the NFL? All of those 4 teams I put up there. Eagles, 49ers, Commanders, Jets. The Eagles won at 48%, and I think partly because of their depth. They got, like, even though I didn't put their whole D-line situation up there, they got a lot of depth up there. Eagles at 48, 49ers at 28, Commanders at 20%. I think the Commanders got the best front four, but they don't have no depth behind it. And then the Jets really just got Quinnen. But the Jets got a superstar in Quinnen. They got a pretty good linebacking core, and they got the superstar on the back end in Sauce. So that's where it is. The Bleacher Report has us ranked as the 5th best defense after the draft. That's before anybody get on the field. That's before anybody touching the grass. And again, we turned 21. This is our 21st show. We took a shot at the beginning of the show to celebrate being an adult in this daily show business, or not semi-daily. Was it 1, 2, 3 days out of the week? Whatever it is. But it might be eventually turn into daily, especially once we get on the grass. But I appreciate everybody for coming through. Appreciate it. If you have not done so, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell so you can be notified when these videos come out. Again, I'm about to Thursday. Tomorrow is when I'll start working on my Todd Monken video. Now, all 22, like I said, me and him been talking. He premiered his last night. I have not watched it yet because I want to do my research first and not be swayed by anything he says. And that's what I kind of do with draft stuff too. I don't watch the other people's draft stuff until after I do what I'm going to do. And so I hadn't watched his yet. But when I do get mine finished, I'll go back and watch his and see how much we have of the same stuff. And that way I give, when I give my honest opinion, and if we say some of the same things, that means we seeing some of the same things. But mine, I think most of his stuff was UGA. My stuff is going to be UGA and in Tampa. Because even though Cleveland is a closer time frame when he was OC, Kitchens call plays in Cleveland. He probably had some say so, but Kitchens called a bunch of them plays in Cleveland, so I'm gonna take Cleveland out. And I appreciate DDSQ for reminding me of that. Kitchens called plays when they were in Cleveland, so I'm gonna take those Buck years and I'm gonna take the Georgia years, and we're gonna mesh them together and see what we come up with. So again, I appreciate everybody for coming through. Again, when the videos drop throughout, whatever I put out the rest of this week, make sure you hit the hashtag Know the Game so you can be featured at the beginning of the show. When I drop Monday's topic, make sure you go to community tab or hit it on Twitter, and you can comment, and you can have a chance to be one of be picked as the Jane Doe coming up today. And again, EDC, we need you to email me so we can get you your winnings from last month. And that's episode 21 of Ravens Daily. I appreciate everybody for coming through. I'm gonna hit ending soon. I think I had a question or two. I'm gonna hit those 2 questions and then we out. What up, Clock? Yes, I'm gonna be doing Patreon. I'm gonna do the full games on Patreon done. So when I get to when I go queue up a Tampa game, I'm gonna watch the full game on there and talk about it while I'm doing my notes. Kind of like we did with the draft films, and then I'll chop it up for YouTube. But as we're gonna watch a lot of Monken on Patreon, and we can just talk about each play and what we think and whatnot. And that's how you guys can get your 2 cents in on it. When I go live on Patreon, it'll be a link and you can come watch it, and it's just chopping it up. Is there any streams later? No, not for me. Later today we have lunch break hot take at 7:15. I'm gonna be working on a video for More Sip the Tally, which is for the streets. I put a video out there for More Sip the Tally yesterday. So if you're interested in how Tua was carving up Detroit Lions in week 8 of last year, that video's over there. Please go check that out. That's on More Sip the Tally. And working on a video with how Derrick Henry basically pulverized. Who was that they pulverized in week 8? But it's a video about how good Derrick Henry is and how bad the quarterback is they got. What's the quarterback from Liberty? I forget his name. They ready to move off of him already, the Titans. What's the Titans rookie quarterback from last year? Watching that game, that cat bad. That cat is bad. But we'll talk about that when I get finished with it. It'll probably be out tomorrow. Let's see. Let me find a question. Y'all got me sidetracked. Oh, don't forget, if you live in the Baltimore area, you got the Roundup meetup, August 4th. August 4th, you can put exclamation point tickets, and the link will come up for the tickets. You can still do that while I'm still live. Matter of fact, it just came up. The Eventbrite link. Malik Willis is what I'm talking about. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Malik Willis is bad. Let's see. Devin Duke's got a question. How much does a vet placement on a team matter? This can be replaced with other things like, yeah, but like even, and I'll give you this from a teaching point of view. I can stand up there and teach you Pythagorean theorem all day. And it could be like French. But then your buddy next to you can give it to you in a different language. And you got, I got it. And so that's where that leadership come in at. Sometimes the authority figure ain't what you're trying to hear. But if you get it from a peer, you'll be more accepting to it. So that's kind of where that vet leadership come in at. Because sometimes the coach's voice gets stale. We all know that. And a bunch of us in here were concerned with that Harbaugh's voice was getting stale too. So y'all know how that go. But again, appreciate you guys, man. Make sure you tune in for everybody else. How do you think recovers? Not much. Not much. Baltimore get up. He already spoke on it. He said he liked the offense. He's going to have a reduced role. But as long as we win, he don't care. Them his words, not mine. Which, good for me. Good for me. So I appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate it. And if I don't catch y'all on somebody else's stream, I'll see y'all Monday. Don't forget about more Sip the Tally too. Go over there and check out some of that content.